Good day and welcome to another edition of Top 5 Tuesday. My name is Jeff Dick. It is November 23rd. Yesterday was the anniversary of the JFK assassination. John F. Kennedy assassinated November 22nd, 1963 in Dallas, Texas. And from that event, numerous conspiracy theories have abounded. But conspiracy theories not limited to events like that. There are many in the music world, and that's what we're going to take a look at. The top 5 conspiracies in the music world. And I know you're thinking, could there really be that many? Or maybe that's just what they want you to think. Now, there have been more than a few conspiracy theories when it comes to the music world. Let's get to the list. At number 5, the supposed abduction of Tammy Wynette in 1978. It was on October 4th of that year that Wynette claimed she was abducted from a mall in Nashville at gunpoint, beaten by the gunman, and then deposited outside of the city limits. Now, this was a story that made all the papers. Obviously, one of the biggest stars of the day, Tammy Wynette, abducted at a mall, mysteriously beaten and then deposited outside of the city. She had graphic photos taken of her facial injuries, had a broken cheekbone, but as time went on, there started to be some doubt as to whether or not this had actually happened. One of Tammy's daughters, Jackie Daly, wrote a memoir in the year 2000 where she claimed that Tammy had confessed that the entire thing was made up to cover up a beating that her 5th husband, George Ritchie, had inflicted upon her. For his part, Ritchie vehemently denied that this ever occurred, and when Tammy passed away in 1998, her daughters would sue him for wrongful death. They actually had to have the body exhumed, but this was all settled in 2002. The abduction and what really went down remains a mystery. At number 4 on our list, Gentleman Jim Reeves and a possible connection to the Kennedy assassination. In a story relayed by a former friend of Jim Reeves, he said that Reeves had told him that the night before the assassination, they had played a dance hall in Dallas, Texas, him and his band, and that dance hall belonged to Jack Ruby, who himself would become involved by murdering Lee Harvey Oswald several days later. He was a nightclub owner in Dallas, and Jim Reeves performing at one of his clubs. But what Reeves relayed to his friend was that not only did he perform at this club, he saw Lee Harvey Oswald there talking with Jack Ruby. According to this friend, that would mean there would have to have been a conspiracy if Oswald and Ruby knew each other before the assassination took place. Now, this was never made public at the time, and it's all just going off the word of one friend who remembers this conversation from the 60s. And of course, we'll never know Jim Reeves' side of it because he passed away the next year in a plane crash, but maybe that's just another piece of the puzzle. At number 3 on our list of music conspiracies, the supposed assassination of Bob Marley by the Central Intelligence Agency. Bob Marley, of course, one of the most well-known reggae artists of all time, passed away at the incredibly young age of 36 from a mysterious cancer, and some people believe that that cancer was injected by the CIA by use of a pair of boots. Apparently, Marley had been gifted a new pair of boots, and as he tried them on, pulled his foot back out in pain, and inside was found a copper wire, which some people believe injected him with this cancer. We'll never know. But Bob Marley, dead at 36, was it by the work of the CIA? That's what some believe. Number 2 on our list of music conspiracies, Elvis isn't dead. These theories have been around since Elvis passed away in 1977, or I guess supposedly passed away. Sightings of the King have apparently been made all across the United States in the years since his death, from spotting a man who looked like Elvis at a Burger King in Wisconsin to some folks believing he now works as a groundskeeper at Graceland, which seems like a really odd thing to do. If you're going to fake your death, just hang out at the one place where everybody would go looking for you. There are also some who believe that Elvis appears in the movie Home Alone, which came out in 1990, with a beard and a turtleneck standing behind Catherine O'Hara in an airport scene. But once again, if you're going to fake your own death and try and disappear, why appear in an extremely popular holiday movie? But the number 1 conspiracy theory in music history, not that somebody has faked their death, but that somebody's been dead the whole time. Yes, the Paul is dead theory states that Paul McCartney passed away in a car accident in 1967, and ever since, we have just been following along with a body double named Billy Shears. Now, if that name sounds familiar to you, that character is brought up in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but that, my friend, is just one of the possible clues. Apparently, the Beatles littered their music and their album covers with numerous clues to point to the fact that Paul McCartney was actually dead. The most famous of those being the Abbey Road album cover. Of course, the famous picture of the Beatles walking across the crosswalk, but it's all about little differences in how they're dressed and their steps. You'll notice Paul is the only Beatle who is out of step with the other ones with the different foot forward. Also, you'll notice John Lennon dressed all in white. He is the priest at the front of the funeral procession. Behind him is Ringo Starr dressed all in black. He is the mourner. Then you have the body. Paul McCartney there, the only one not wearing shoes as well. And then behind him, dressed in all denim, the workers' gear, the gravedigger, George Harrison. Could it possibly be? Or is everybody really reading too much into absolutely everything?